Capture here.
Girl, I don't know what I hear, but it says it's doing something.
Change our capture method so that we can get what we need to here. And boom, we're capturing the entire window of the out of this. And what we're going to do is duplicate this.
Damn, girl, you good. Come on, push through.
Now what we do
Hey guys. Damn, girl, you good. Come on, push through. All right. Hey guys. Damn, girl, you good. Come on, push through. Hey guys. Damn, girl, you good. Come on, push through.
For them to be able to hear them talking. But they would be able to hear them though, right?
So, it is live. We getting it. So, I'm thinking, oh. All right. Give me a second. Let me see. I should not have hit the button. Everything.
Or we can't move it that way, right? This part. It looked like we. There you go. It just looks like it's off.
Now with Zoom. Oh, geez. I do have a clicker. I just don't like, you know. Here's the thing though about the music. Um, It is nothing like behind the scenes. I do have a flicker. It's been though. Hey girls. Oh, okay. So I got the whole thing. It is nothing like behind the scenes. I do have a flicker. It's been though.
This one's on the start.
Hey girls. Okay. I got the whole. It is nothing like behind the scenes. I do have a it's been though.
This one's on the start.
Girls. I got the whole. It's behind the scenes. It is nothing like behind the scenes. It's been though.
This one's on the start.
Girls. That's right. They could have used it. Oh. He didn't copy the everybody. ID information. Somebody said they waiting. You gotta click on the Zoom down there at the bottom.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. Turn it down a little further.
Hey guys, I'm Thomas. How you doing?
Hello.
Hi. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How y'all doing?
Good.
I'm doing good.
Listen, every time you think you got something under control, Zoom shows you you're not in control. So I had to switch the room. So I hope everybody is able to catch back up with us. And then I'm gonna tell y'all how we do things. Everybody in.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hold on.
Oh, I can see my wire. It's nice to meet you all anyway, even if it's via this platform.
Nice to meet you too.
Likewise.
Everyone. So we have it's a delay on our system. So if you keep hearing like hello, can y'all hear that when it delays?
Hi.
How y'all doing?
No.
I'm doing good. Listen, every time you think you got something under control, Zoom shows you you're not in control.
It's okay.
I hope everybody is able to catch back up with us. And then I'm gonna tell y'all how we stream it live on here. I can't do this exact thing. All right. Hey ladies. Okay, so I think we got everything together. As more people are gonna join us. I'm gonna wait a little while so everybody gets the new ID. Some more people are joining. And then I'll tell you guys how we my head's cut off. How we do things. And so what's gonna happen is, oh, there goes somebody coming in. We are going to talk. Oh, my hair looks crazy. It's hot here, girl. So what we're gonna do is just talk about what you got going on. If you got businesses, if you got whatever to get off your chest, if you tired of COVID-19, hey, if you sick of these kids in the house, you want them out, you want them to go back to school, whatever.
Me currently.
This is just a platform for us to do sisterhood, for us to get to know each other, and just to build a place where we feel safe and secure. We're talking about things that bother us, areas that you may need help in. Somebody else on the call may can help you in any type of way. Just a positive atmosphere. So, if you want to tell your story, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. It is no pressure. It's really just something that you can come to every week and get some positive energy. Because I think we kind of need it now, right? And so what happens is I'm going to sit down and then we'll go live on Instagram and Facebook. The podcast is really a show, right? And so we have to edit. So none of this will go up until the whole season is edited, right?
Okay.
You can come back as many times you want to come back. It's every Wednesday at the same time. If you want your pictures and stuff to be up on our flyer, just send it to me a week early so I'll know to put you on the flyer. All right. At the beginning, we're going to introduce ourselves. We're going to go in the line, however it's showing on here. I'm going to call your name. You tell us about yourself, whatever you want to say, whatever. We eventually play a game somewhere in between. You can win a prize. It's usually fun stuff. We have no rules, no judgment, no limitation. You could invite people the next time you want to. That's all I got. Y'all got any questions?
No, you pretty much answered all of my questions because I was wondering, like, oh man, what are we gonna talk about? What do I need to prepare for?
Girl, nothing. It's life, right? This is a time where you like, I don't even have to worry about what's gonna happen. It's just whatever you feel like saying. I mean, look, move your head.
I know, I love it. I love it.
That's where we at in life, right? I mean, after cancer, you kind of just be like, I don't care. And this is a place where you really can voice your opinion and be like, fuck it. We don't have no rules about cussing. I don't have no rules about, the only thing I just say, we just love each other and be nice to each other. That's it. Other than that, you can eat, you can drink, you can do whatever you want to do on here. We don't care.
Sorry.
This is cool.
Right here.
Listen, I had to tell my kids, I was like, listen, mommy has something important to do. If y'all could just stay in the living room, just do that.
Right.
I'll let you play in the living room today. Just sit in the living room.
Just
Don't
sit
go
down.
in my dining room, stay in the living room.
Right. And so look, that brings me to another point. If anytime, like I know some of y'all may like writing, you may sing or whatever. Our website, if you want to write a blog on there, if you want to do recipes, whatever you like doing, you are allowed to use my platform to help you brand yourself, because that's something that I think a lot of people charge for. And I want to be able to empower you guys to whatever you want to do. If you know how to sew, I don't know, we'll help you sell your stuff online. Whatever it is that you have a passion for, we want to be able to use this as a platform and then help each other. So share each other's stuff, make sure we promote each other, because we the only people really understand what we've been through, and you can't really explain it to anybody else that they don't understand. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if y'all don't have no questions, I'm gonna hit them buttons to go live, and then I'm gonna introduce us. You can find us on Anchor, Twitch. Let me talk about Twitch real quick. If you got something going on, like you think about YouTube, it's nice because we're on YouTube too. But Twitch is a TV channel where you're able to actually have your own channel, right? So if you got some kids, you think your kid's funny, and you be like, man, y'all funny, y'all should be on TV. Put them on your Twitch, right? Twitch, you're able to broadcast live. It's kind of like YouTube, but you have your own channel, right? So I would say download that and just have it recording while you cooking. I know my family is funny, so I like to have them eventually on my Twitch, because I'm like, y'all are funny naturally. So that's another thing with branding yourself. So anything I know, I'll help you with. Trying to do a second career, make some money. I'm a side hustle queen. I'll help you. All right. Let me plug my phone up, and then we're gonna get ready to go. All right.
Live.
My shoes, like,
That one is.
Kathy, sorry, can I ask how long does it go on for?
It's until you ready to go. Honestly, sometimes and Kelsey can tell you, sometimes we get on here and it may last like an hour, and sometimes we look at time like, dang, it's 2 hours, and I gotta cut us off and be like, all right, girl, we gotta go to the next.
Yeah.
Can't sit on here and talk all night, right?
Okay.
So it just depends, and whenever you're ready, just say bye, guys. And you're more than welcome to me. We're not gonna hold you hostage. And I know it's late over there where you at, right?
Yeah, midnight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make you a party. All right. So we will be going live in 1 second on Facebook. All right, Facebook just came on, and Instagram is on. So, hey guys, welcome to Real Talk Rebels. Now I gotta get in this picture. Make sure my little short butt in here. We have, of course, I gotta take pictures. We have, of course, some lovely ladies on YouTube right now, as well as Zoom. And if you want to see us as we go along, of course, you're watching behind the scenes of our show / podcast. You could join us live on YouTube, as well as on Instagram and Facebook. You just can't see our beautiful women. So if you want to see them, tune into Cat's Lounge on YouTube. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. We're gonna start in the corner top. What is your name and what do you do?
Me?
Let me see.
Sasha.
Sasha.
Oh, me.
Oh, yes.
Okay. My name is Sasha Mendoza. I just recently graduated from Penn State University with a bachelor's in corporate communication, and I decided to move down to Georgia. So I've been here going on 2 months, and trying to find work in my field. But right now I'm just working at home doing customer service for Florida Department of Health, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Nice. Well, that's a big deal. Don't try to minimize that. That's awesome. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And again, if there's anything we can do to help you maneuver or motivate, get through this world better, you just let us know. Next we have.
I'm going down.
Let's go to Kelsey.
All right, Kelsey, you're next, honey.
Hi, everybody. I'm quickly becoming a regular here, I think. I love it. I am so I am just so appreciative that you have a platform here that we can all come on and share our stories, because I think, it's like 1 week we could be feeling really great, and then the next week we're like in bed, like literally. So I for those of you that don't know me, I go by pretty.resilient on Instagram. I am a stage 2 breast cancer survivor. I was diagnosed at age 29 out in Phoenix, Arizona, and now I am living back in my hometown, a little town called Temperance, Michigan. I've been in remission for 5 years now, but I did recently find out that I will be on tamoxifen for a total of 10 years instead of the normal 5. Very high risk for reoccurrence, I found out. So that was like a whole crazy journey. And today I am definitely not feeling that good. I just this morning, like my bones were hurting really bad, and I'm just feeling kind of icky, but I still, wanted to be here to just be able to show support and show my love to everybody, and just have a good time. So that's me.
Well, glad to have you. And I want to say welcome back. And that's something, Kelsey, talk about real quick. It's like, so tamoxifen, right? I don't know. Is anybody else on tamoxifen that's on
I just
Zoom right now?
started it about.
I am.
Yeah, so tamoxifen makes you feel icky, right? All the drugs, right, with cancer makes you feel icky. You don't have one to be like, oh, I feel good about that situation. But tamoxifen, I'm only talking because I went through it too. It's like, it just feels like all the nutrients out your bones are absorbed or something. So I don't know if you guys feel the same way that you take the drug. Do you feel the same way? Like sometimes you just zap, you can't get out of bed if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I found being on, hi everyone, I'm Natasha, I'm from London, UK.
Oh, hi.
I was diagnosed with breast cancer back in November 2018. My mum was the beginning of 2018. So I've only been on tamoxifen approaching a year in September, but I've been through all different, what I'd say, stages, from headaches to bone aches. My main thing at the moment is I'm gaining weight. When I was going through chemotherapy, I was like, right, I didn't want to have that emaciated, lost my hair look, which was fine. I loved my bald head. I rocked it. But, I didn't want to lose weight. So every time I stepped on the scale at chemotherapy, I was happy that I was gaining weight. Chemo's now finished. I don't want to be gaining any weight. And just gaining weight. So from 75 kg up to 88. So yeah, tamoxifen, as much as I need it, it's a love-hate relationship at the moment.
Yeah, and I can attest to that.
So Kelsey, and I guess with the rest of the ladies too, they do tamoxifen, and then we'll get to introduce everybody. This is what usually happens when somebody bring up something, we just want to talk about it. So Kelsey, so do you take ginger? Anybody do ginger, like ginger tea?
What's funny is I'm drinking burners right now.
Yeah,
I do.
So ginger is good for inflammation. It's good to clean your sinuses out. The more ginger you take in, the better, right? So you can never have enough ginger. So like you start your morning with your ginger tea, put some ginger over your food, just drink ginger tea all day. You know, I put cinnamon in my tea. That's another nutrient that can help clean your body out. And I found this new herb. It's called star anise. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
That's something else that helps naturally clean you out, right? So you have all those toxins in you, and the main thing is to get it all out. And I think that's the point where your body kind of understands that it's getting back to what you used to be. Chemo definitely makes you feel like a newborn baby. That's how the only way I can explain it. It's like everything is starting over. You got to build your immune system up. You got to deal with everything else. So Kelsey, thanks for sharing that. And definitely, let's go to our UK friends. So I rock my stars is international, and I appreciate you right now being on our Zoom call. We are going to start an international show where we don't have to hold you hostage until midnight. I mean, I appreciate you being on the call and sharing your story with us. So go ahead, introduce yourself, and you already said your name, but say it again and let people know just anything you want to talk about.
Is that me?
Yeah.
Oh, Natasha. Okay.
Oh,
Sorry.
and two people from the UK on here.
Oh, is there two of us?
No. Well, no. I didn't. I can't hear properly, so I wasn't sure if you were talking to me or Natasha.
Okay, thank you. I love how you say my name,
Okay,
actually. Yeah, so like I say, diagnosed back in November 2018, stage 2. When I was diagnosed, it was a stage 1, but by the time I had my surgery, it was a stage 2. But there was only less than a year between myself and my mum being diagnosed. So it was a lot for us to get our head around. And my mum's sister was diagnosed the year before. So 3 ladies in the family, thank God we're all survivors. Each and every one of us have survived. So I give God thanks for that. I've only just recently returned to work. Obviously, the whole world has come to a standstill with COVID-19. But in regards to where I am, my body and sort of recovering, it's a struggle. Little things that I could do before, I can't do them now. And I just get so frustrated some days and just so annoyed. I'm grateful to be alive. And I'm thankful to be alive, but it's sometimes it's easier when you talk to ladies like yourself, because you just have to say one word and I don't need to explain it. You can identify with what I mean, even though everybody's journey is different. But if I say nausea, you know what the nausea is. If I say bone pain, you know what the bone pain is. If I say muscle pain, I don't have to go into detail as I would if I'm talking to somebody who's not been through the journey. And what I get frustrated with sometimes, people think, okay, finished your treatment. Oh, you're done. Well, no, I'm not done, because this is where my recovery starts, So yeah, I get a little bit frustrated sometimes, but I'm here, I'm alive, and I'm with you ladies tonight. So thank you so much for having me come along. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you for definitely hanging in there with us. And so now, was your breast cancer is genetic, you were saying, or is it not genetic?
No, it's not genetic. When I saw the oncologist, that was my first thought. Is it genetic? My mum's sister, but it's all hormone based. So mine was hormone positive, likewise my mum, likewise my mum's sister. So apparently no genetic link. Yeah, just started in the ducts and became cancerous. I said it's my age. I was 45 at the time of diagnosis. But yeah, no, it's my first. Tests, and I thought, well, I've got a daughter. I don't want her to be here. You don't want that cycle to continue. But yeah, it's genetic. So I'm on the tamoxifen for 5 years, possibly 10, but we just have to see where my hormones are at the end of the 5 years. Take it from there.
Okay. So I think that's important. Like you say, you have a daughter. It's definitely start teaching like your family about health now, right? Because a lot of times we don't usually talk about it, and sometimes we don't know how to talk about it, right? That's one thing, because we feel like it's nothing they can do anyway. But that's kind of doing them a disservice if we don't talk about what we've been through, and then helping them learn how to cope with you. I have a daughter; she's now 18, about to be 19. 13 when I was diagnosed, and she was already going through her crap, right? And now it's like I got to throw myself on top of her crap, and found out instead of her acting out during the normal teenage thing, she actually came closer because she realized that it was, you know, a time in life where you had to be like, I value my parent, and not like let me rebel against my mother. So I think it was important for me to definitely share it with her. I just didn't know how to share it, right? I was like, man, how can I look at her and tell her that I have cancer, and that I have to be strong for her? And I mean, honestly, she was like strong for me. I'm like, why are you not crying? Why are you not out of sorts? And she was just like a rock and roll. She was like, look, let's do it. Let's get it. Whatever we got to do. We even got like matching warrior tattoos. Like it's crazy. But it's just something I think is important to talk about, especially when you got girls, you know. All right, let's go to Melissa up here at the top. All right, let's go to Melissa. Hey,
Hi,
Melissa.
everyone. Hi. So I'm Melissa Kennedy. I don't even know where to begin of a story. I always feel like I might talk too much, but I share a similar story with you all. Similar story to Natasha, similar to Kelsey. I am currently on tamoxifen. I hate it. I started it this year, I want to say in February-ish. And by the mid-March, I got so sick and I had to go to the hospital, and I had to come off of it for a while. And then they put me back on a lower dose and then told me that, you know, I had stage 2, HER2 positive, estrogen, every triple positive, everything you could possibly, everything you could possibly imagine. And I just want to share also when Natasha was saying, like, sometimes people who don't have it or never experienced it don't understand when you explain it to them. Like, they still don't get it. Like, let me tell you one of the worst things the doctor told me. Oh, wow, you're HER2 stage 2 triple positive. You have one of the best cancers. It's treatable, but high reoccurrence. I was like, what? I just couldn't believe, like, how is it a good thing? Like, I just had to sit and figure this out. And I'm a math teacher. So then when I found out, I basically just went on leave. I've been in and out of leave from teaching for I don't know how long. I'm always sick. But I sat and had to think about this, of what is the good, because I always try to find the good in something. And I come to realize, like, it was some collateral beauty in all of this. Me and my daughter did get closer. My daughter's 13, and when I told her, she started crying and stuff, but like, I felt like she was stronger than me. Like, she and my husband, like, they kept me going. Till this day, my daughter keeps me going. And I'm like, she probably cries silently when I'm not there. I don't know. But she's like always there. Like, if some days I can't get out the bed, and she's just like, what do you need? She'll walk with me down the hallway in my house. Like, she's just that kind of person. And my husband, but I just always try to find the good in everything. Like, every day, if I feel like crap, I'm like, oh, well, you know, I'm still alive. I feel the pain, so I can try to get up and keep on moving because I'm still alive, you know. And being that I was diagnosed with stage 2, almost stage 3, when they caught it, I was just like, I feel like if I would have went a month or so later, they told me I would have been at 3, because it was already in my lymph nodes. It was on its way to just spread throughout my whole body. And you know, I don't know what I would be today, but I do have high reoccurrence, and they recently upped me back up to the full dose of tamoxifen. So now I'm back to feeling like crap, but I'm alive. And I'm gonna have another surgery soon. I had the bilateral mastectomy. I have tissue expanders, and I have to get emergency surgery to get the tissue expanders removed because they're causing too much pain. I had them in too long because of COVID. So I'm going to get my implants, which are good things because I'm excited about getting implants. But yeah, I just try to make positive with every day, because one thing it's taught me is, like, you just never know how much time you have left. And if I go to bed in pain and I wake up the next day, I'm happy. Like I open my eyes, I'm like, okay, I got to do something with this day, because it wasn't something you just never know, So that's my story. I just try to be super positive, and if it returns when that day come or whatever, as they keep telling me, I'm just gonna keep on chucking, give the good fight.
But I think that's important though, because when your body says rest, right, we have to learn how to listen to it and rest. Because a lot of times we still try to keep going. So I know, like when I first decided, I'm a person that always go, do, whatever, right? And then eventually I had to say, man, I'm gonna run myself to death after I beat cancer. I'm not even giving my body time to recover. And so we really have to be like in tune to not always going back to who we used to be, and just listening to our body so we can heal. Because it's a long process for healing. Like, mentally, physically, and just being like, man, spiritually. Like you have to be fed in all those areas, and then after you gotta have surgery. Like I have 14 surgeries, right? And I mean, I understand when you say you had an emergency. If your
yeah, I'm scheduled. I'm actually scheduled for August 20th to go into surgery.
The thing about my implants was I couldn't go to sleep on either side, or I couldn't lay on it. It was like it was hurting. So I had to get mine taken out. My expanders out, my implants out. Then I had I didn't have to do it, but I took my muscle out my stomach and did like the flap, put it in my chest. And that was eventful. That's probably the only one surgery that went according to plan, and I didn't really have a lot to worry about. But going under the knife is very serious. So, I mean, again, if you guys are going through something, if you inbox me, I'm all about vibrations and positivity. I will lift your name up and give you all the positive vibes that I got to you. Because sometimes we just need a smile, a hug. Corona's here, but I can give you an air hug and give you some love. We do post it on our page because we want everybody to lift your name up, so you can be spiritually fed too and know that we love you. So, all right, who else we got on here? Next, we got Mercedes. Hey, Mercedes.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. I want to go with you. Where you going, girl?
You know what? Today is like my first day out since chemo last week. Like I felt like it took this third treatment took a lot out of me. So today is like my first day out, just trying to take care of business. But my name is Mercedes. I'm from California. I was diagnosed in February of this year, 2020. And it's crazy because it was after 6 months of my sister passing. She fought breast cancer for 6 years. So she passed away in August, and I got diagnosed in February. So I got diagnosed with invasive ductal carcinoma, and I had a double mastectomy. So they was able to get all the cancer out. It didn't spread. So after that, they said I'm at stage 2, but I'm triple negative. And then plus triple negative, I am genetic positive with a genetic that's very rare, but it have a higher risk of like ovarian cancer. So I'm gonna decide to get my ovary and my uterus removed because I have a higher risk of that. So and then right now I'm in treatment. I have 8 rounds of AC. So I heard that is like, they call it the red devil. I heard that's like really, really tough. So I do my 4th one next week. So, and then I have a expander. So I'm getting them filled the following week after treatment. So it's just like every week it's like doctors. But overall, it's just like, I just look at it, it's only temporary. So I just try to keep strong and be positive. But I think what kind of helped me is that I seen my sister go through it for 6 years, and she was like very at a dark moment. So that's why I'm so open with mine, because I was like, I don't want to feel like that, and then I know it's so many women that keep it a secret. So I just like open with mine. And then it feels good sometimes when you talk about it and inspire others, because it's a rough journey. It's crazy. It's an up and down. So that's everything.
Yeah, I think, well, let me say this. Sorry about your sister, right? Because it's tough, right? I mean, I lost my dad this year, so it's tough when you lose like a loved one. And then on top of that, cancer. So you are supported. Like if you ever need to just call and cry, girl, I'm a great crier. I'm a great listener. I'm a great cursor. I'm great at a lot of things. I can be like, fuck it. If you need me to be, I can shut up. I like to talk, whatever. Just know you are supported. And anybody who was on my Zooms would say the same thing. Like, don't feel like any of y'all are going in this by yourselves, because we don't judge. We don't do anything. Like, you just want to call and be like, yo, have you ever, I had a girl call me at no lie. She was like, look, my cootie cat is raw as a dog. And I'm like, number one, I appreciate you feeling comfortable telling me, right? Because a lot of times we won't share that. We would literally be at home crying, trying to figure it out, putting Vaseline on it, or putting cold water on it, putting ice cubes on it. I mean, I'm real. Look, but when she called me, I said, "Oh, you gotta call your doctor, because your doctor gotta know what's going on, because you're not the first one that this is happening to, right?"
Yeah.
And when she ended up calling the doctor was like, "Oh, you gotta come in because your medication's too strong." And I told her, I was like, "Could you imagine having those 8 more rounds and you just taking the hit for it? Girl, you wouldn't have no cootie cat."
Wow.
Not with a red, right? I'm telling you, that red devil is something crazy. So, we just want this group to be something where if you feeling weird about something, you could just be like, yo, has this ever happened? And we can just get answers to what's going on, right? And not you going by yourself and you feel like, because you can't share with some of your friends. Your friends will be like, girl, what? That's an STD. All right. Like, who you been with? You be like, what? Girl, no. Chemo right now,
Yeah, like there's nothing else.
And it's quite interesting up on what you said, Mercedes. I'm so sorry to hear about your story as well, with the journey of your sister and then yourself. And that's why I started the page Black, Bold and Beautiful, because when I was going through treatment, I only found ladies like yourself in America who were much more open than the UK ladies. And I'm thinking, hold on, statistics say 1 in 8 ladies will be diagnosed with cancer. So where are all the fellow UK ladies? And I couldn't find them. And whether it's a cultural thing, I did another podcast with another lady on Sunday, and she was saying it's pretty much the same within the Afro-Caribbean community in America as it is over here. We're very secretive about cancer. When I was growing up, I remember you would hear older people had died. Now I know they had died from cancer. And I think we need to, obviously people are private, not everybody wants to be open. I put my whole journey out there, the no eyebrows, the shaving of the hair. And I think that we just need to be a bit more open, and it's nobody's fault to get cancer. There's a lady I speak to on Instagram, and she is in Pakistan, and she has just been so isolated from her family, from her community. And I think it's just sharing the journey and supporting each other. It's okay to do so. And I think more that there's more platforms like this, there's more Instagram pages, blogs, getting it out there. Hopefully, as it goes down the generations, it will start to change. I likewise remember one of the breast care nurses saying to me, breast cancer is the best type of cancer to get if you're going to get a cancer, because it's curable. And I always say to ladies, just check your breasts once a month, once a week if you can, and what your breasts feel like. Anything different, just go and get it checked, because early detection is key, especially with some cancers are hard to detect, but thankfully breast cancer is one of the easier ones to detect and diagnose. So I think we can share and support each other a lot more, and I think it's changing slowly, but it's changing.
Yeah. Are you talking about Niela from Pakistan?
Sorry?
You're talking about Niela from Pakistan?
Yes, I am. Yeah, I messaged her today, actually. I've been speaking to her for a little, yeah, probably about a year. Such a lovely soul, such a lovely person. And it's just so frustrating because even when I was through chemotherapy, I mean, our healthcare system here is whether you work, whether you don't work, pay 20% of your salary, all healthcare is free. Whether I need an operation on my breast, whether I need a new heart, it's all free. Diagnosing breast cancer, literally you go to your general practitioner, within 2 weeks you're seen at the breast clinic where they do the mammograms, the biopsy, you see a doctor, you go back 2 weeks later, you get a diagnosis, within a month you start your treatment, literally. And I would come home from chemotherapy sometimes, you know, put my journey on Instagram, and then I'm seeing ladies in America having to look for insurance to get their drugs or to finish it. And I'm like, hold on a minute, I've just come home with a bag of medication that I actually don't even need all of it, and I don't have that stress. It's been taken away. So, you know, everybody's journey is different because we're all individuals. However, it's also reflective upon where you live in the world, has a big impact on how you go through that journey, which is just shocking, you know, for some ladies.
And I think that's a good point, Natasha. So it's like here in the States, we're more vocal with we want more rights for women. We have a little bit more freedom than in some other countries, but it's still, we're lagging when it comes to healthcare, our job and our wages, you know. And so even with like abortions and women's bodies, it's still like the government controls what you do here, but they still don't give you the freedom when it comes to medication to have healthcare across the board without trying to figure out you can pay your light bill or get these pills. You know, I don't think it should be choices like that we have to make when we pour taxes out of everything. You got to pay taxes, even dead paying taxes, you know, so they tax us to death, literally, you know. But then when you get medication, it's like, oh, this pharmaceutical company wants $1 billion for this. And you're like, I mean, I have health insurance. And they're like, yeah, but they don't cover this. You know, so it puts some more strain on us, and we have to continue to work. Because if you do, you know, you don't, you get disability. Sometimes disability does not even cover your mortgage, your rent, food, nothing. So you're still forced to go back out there and work, you know. And I know, like, when I was diagnosed in 2015. I worked full time, 2 jobs. Like, it was crazy because I couldn't afford to stop working. And I would have loved to just stop because you want your body to recover, but that's not fair when you didn't ask for, you know, that war. And it's like the same country don't take care of it. So that's why I'm so vocal when it comes to my body. I'm vocal when it comes to women's rights. I'm vocal when it comes to advocating for people, period, and about embracing, just trying to help you guys, you know, I don't know, make a higher income where you don't have to worry about that job, right? When you don't have to worry about reporting, you can work from home, you know, where it's like, hey, screw you, I'm not coming in because I don't feel good. And you should have that option, you know. So thank you for sharing, Natasha. All right, who's next on there? Who we have at the bottom? We have Nat. What's up, Nat? Hi, Nat.
Is that me? It's me?
Yes,
oh, sorry, it's me, yeah? Okay. It's hi, my name is Nyla, but I'm trying this new branding, and I'll tell you why. I live in New York, and I think I know I've spoken to Natasha via leaving voice messages. I have a page called The Breast of Us, and probably some of you are on that page. Yeah, so the page is really, I thought about that page because Natasha was saying that, you know, a lot of Black women don't actually speak about their journeys. So, and when I was going through my journey, I didn't see anybody who looked like me in one place. And I knew it's because of a cultural thing where Black women tend to be more private about their health challenges. So I set up a page called The Breast of Us. I think Melissa, you're on there. I think.
Yes, yes. That's why
You're
my
on
mouth
there.
dropped when you said that.
Yeah. So I reckon, it's funny. Some faces I recognize, some I don't, because people with their hair and and their different hairstyles or makeup, it looks different. But I think I recognize you actually.
I look the same all the time.
No, but good, but beautiful. I mean, I don't even know where to start. Just like how Melissa said, there's so much that all of you have said. I could identify with things Kelsey has said about being high risk, things that Natasha has said about her mom, and even Mercedes about high risk. So I actually made some notes while I was going through, so I don't forget anything. So I was diagnosed, well, I live in the UK. Sorry, I live in New York now, but I used to live in the UK. But originally I'm from Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean. So I've been a little bit of all over the place. I was diagnosed in August 2017. And I was diagnosed with, like Natasha, stage 1. I think Mercedes said that too. Oh, Melissa, I can't remember. But stage 1, but by the time of surgery, I was diagnosed with stage 2 because it had spread to the sentinel node. I have, it was hard because I'm a single parent, and I have, at the time of my diagnosis, my kids were just 5 and 3. So, and I was a working full-time mom as well. So it was very difficult and scary. The first thing you think about, the first thing I thought about one of the first things I thought about was like, my kids, and you think your mind goes to the end, the right end of the negativity, you think of death. And I was like, I can't believe I only had, have this short amount of time with my kids. And I, I've worked so hard and always grinding and always go to make life better for them. And yet this is what has happened to me. But, I picked myself up, and then it was straight to work to see about myself. I discovered I had a double mastectomy. I discovered I was BRCA positive, BRCA2 positive. Which means that I have a higher risk of ovarian cancer, 5 different cancers. Breast cancer is the highest one. It's like about 80%, 60 to 80% chance of breast cancer, which I obviously got. Ovarian cancer, I think, is about 40%. Pancreatic cancer, the general risk of the population is about 1 to 2%. And if you have the BRCA positive gene, it goes up to about 7%. Also melanoma and thyroid cancer. So because of my BRCA positive status, I mean, 2017 to 2018 was, I think, the worst year of my life. And I'm a Christian, and so there's people say God doesn't give you more than you can handle. I just don't even want to hear that.
I hate that saying.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it. Don't judge me, but I didn't even want to hear it in 2017, 2018, because I went through a lot, 3 weeks after I was diagnosed with breast cancer, I was diagnosed with a kidney tumor that had nothing to do with the breast cancer. So I had to determine and decide which treatment I was going to do first. And, it was an agonizing decision. I mean, how do you decide which surgery you're going to, because if I did one, it will delay the other. Okay. So I eventually decided, let's do the breast treatment first. So I did ACT, like about, I think, 8 rounds of the AC, and then the Taxol was 12 rounds of Taxol. So 5.5 months of chemotherapy. Then in April, so I had my first surgery in September 2017. That's the double mastectomy. Then I had the chemo. Then in April of 2018, I had to remove my lymph nodes. Because the surgeon who did my mastectomy took out the sentinel node, but didn't test it at the time of surgery. And so, and then a week later, it came back as positive because she assumed it was negative and she just didn't do it, you know, which I was very annoyed about because, and then she said, because I'm already sewn up and I'm already healing from the surgery. And then and on top of that, she said she's not doing any more surgery. So even if I wanted to do surgery at that point, she said she wasn't going to do it. Because she said chemo will get the rest. And my thing was, how do you know if chemo will get the rest? You don't even know how many are involved. You're just assuming it could be one, or how do you know if it's not all 16? So then I went to Sloan, Memorial Sloan Kettering, and they told me the standard protocol is if it's the sentinel node is positive, then you keep going to take out, right? So after chemo, I had them removed, my lymph nodes removed in my right side. And then, so then I had radiation. I don't know what happened during radiation the first time, but I started to get some, and it's probably completely unrelated. I started, my heart was kind of, no, it was before radiation, a couple of days before radiation. My heart was just kind of like racing a lot. Then I had radiation, it was fine. And then again, it started racing a bit and hurting a bit. And then I went to the ER the day of radiation, and then they just did an EKG. And then next thing you know, they rushed me up to the cath lab and because they thought I was having a heart attack. So they had to, you know, they cut you through the groin and put through this thing to check your heart. I mean, it was very surreal because I have always been, you know, eating healthy, exercising a lot, very, you know, good balance of how I take care of myself. And here it was like, I'm in a cath lab because they think I'm having a heart attack. It turned out it wasn't a heart attack, but there's something that's slightly irregular about my readings, but it's my normal. So that's what they found out. But anyway, so I completed the 5 weeks of radiation. And then after the radiation finished in, I think it's around the 20th of June in 2018. And then at the end of June, I had my kidney surgery. So, and then, you know, the surgeon before had told me that my kidney tumor was probably 60 to 80%, 60 to 80% positive that it was going to be cancer. But, you know, and so the whole year I just thought it was going to be cancer. And I was just asking God to please just make it a small tumor, you know. But when I did the surgery, thank God, it turned out to be benign. And I was just very happy about it because 2 different doctors told me the same thing, right? 60 to 80% chance malignant. So then 4 weeks later after the kidney surgery, I decided to have my ovaries out because of my BRCA2 status. And, you know, you have, when you BRCA2 status, you have to have your ovary, you know, it's good to have an oophorectomy or any fallopian tubes. You don't have to take out your uterus. But I just decided, well, if I have no ovaries, I mean, what's the point of having a uterus? I have my 2 kids already, and I don't want to have another organ in there that's potentially going to have something come up with that. And then I just made sure to always go and get my screenings done. So I did my pancreatic screening. You have to do, when you have to do pancreatic screening, there's no foolproof screening method, but you do an MRI or you do an endoscopic ultrasound. You alternate it, okay? So that I did that, and then I also went to do a thyroid. Anything that I had a high risk of for BRCA2, I did a screening. And then, so my last surgery was in July, but then when I did my thyroid screening in October, they saw something that met the criteria for, you know, for the investigation. They did molecular testing. They still couldn't determine whether it was cancerous or not. They said it was 50-50. And just because I was being so cautious anyway with everything else, like the ovaries and everything, I had a partial thyroidectomy. It turned out it was benign, so which is good. But, I have a lot of scars and a lot of stories on my body. But fun fact, they didn't have to cut me hair. They did it through my arm, under my arm, to take out half my thyroid. So if, just to let you all know, that's an option, if you know of anyone. And by the way, throughout all of this, when my mom was actually going through cancer treatment with me, because she actually, 6 weeks before I was diagnosed, she was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. And so we were both going through it at the very same time, She was bald, she had her surgery, a month later I had my surgery. She was bald, I was bald, so it was a very, very, very tough time. So hence I don't like to hear that God doesn't give you more than you can handle statement, because I'm like, really? I'm alive, but it was a lot. And then what am I doing now? Huh?
I think that's important though, like what you're saying. Sometimes people don't know what to say, right? Sometimes they say what they think is best and what's going to support you.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for us to tell them, like, don't say that shit to me. Like,
I agree.
not kind, okay?
I hate it.
Yeah, because if people keep going around, they're not going to know they're offending you, right? And even though the gesture and the thought was nice, I started telling people, when people start saying like, oh, you don't even look like you went through cancer.
I hate that.
Oh, you don't even look like cancer. Oh, girl, you had what? 2 times? Oh, you don't even look like you went through 1. And I'm like, I'm gonna fight you, okay? Don't say nothing else. But I think it's important for us to tell people, like, I do understand what you're trying to say. However, as a survivor, someone who's going through it, that's not how you approach the situation. It's a little insensitive.
Yeah, I mean, I am. I had a WhatsApp group with some friends of mine, from different parts, all over the world. And, I was just letting them know different time, my journey, whether I had surgery to do, or different things. And then when I finished all my treatment, I just summarized for them. Somebody asked me, what would I say to somebody who had cancer? I said, you know what? I actually listed about 10 things that you should not say to a cancer survivor, or somebody going through cancer treatment, because I know people mean well, and maybe I've made the mistake before. I can't remember. I don't know, but there are things that you just don't say. Like you don't point out who died from it, number one. And I got that from my sister. There are just so many things. I don't want to take up too much time. The last thing is
I had a question for you.
Yeah, sure.
And anyone else who could answer this. So because I'm so high risk of return and all these other stuff, and then I just feel like if it's not one thing, it's the next. Like, another worst thing a doctor told me, cancer is the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't know either. I found all the bad stuff of it, that like, if like everything affects something else, like the treatment started affecting my heart. Like I found out the other day, I now have abnormal T waves. And they were considering not to do my surgery because they had to investigate it. But then I had a echocardiogram, and then they said, because I'm young, it's okay. So I don't know what that means. If that means when I get older, it's going to bother me. But I love Sloan Kettering. That's where I went. But
you in New York?
Yeah, I'm in New York. My question was for her.
I'm not a doctor, but listen, anybody who goes through chemo, it weakens your heart, right? Yeah. I don't care who you are.
Adriamycin can weaken your heart. That's
especially the AC. Especially the AC the A of the AC. Is it Adriamycin? It's called
Adriamycin.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
what,
it's
sorry, I think what they mean by cancer is the gift that keeps on giving. It's the side effects. There's one thing, then there's another thing, then there's something else. And it's just, you know, I finished chemotherapy the 9th of August last year. And it's only in the September, my feet ballooned up so much I couldn't even wear sandals. I suffer from tendonitis now on both wrists. And what, this is a year after, so that's what they mean. You just, it's, you know, because when you think about it, it's poison literally that has through your body. And as much as it's killing those cancer cells, and I can't believe, I mean, it's standard practice here that they, whenever they biopsy from the lump and they biopsy from the first lymph.
Yeah, they did all of that for me.
Yeah, so you know, they were saying that about the chemo. And here as well in theatre, the pathologist in the theatre, so they look at those. I mean, I have removed. I had a mammoplasty, so I've still got some of my own breast tissue. So they, you know, do the surgery. The pathologist has a look to make sure the cells are clear and you've got clear margins. Check the lymph nodes again, even though the biopsy came back saying it hadn't spread to the lymph. Because the idea is you don't want to have to go back and have unnecessary surgeries.
Which is what I had to do. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I had all of my lymph nodes on my left side taken out. I can barely lift up my left arm. But my question for her was, because she said she had her ovaries taken out. I was wondering, considering to do that, because I fear that the cancer returns in my ovaries or something else. And I know ovarian cancer is something that's kind of tricky to catch. And, you know, I've heard when they catch it, it's kind of late, or it could be, I don't know how true that is, but I wanted to know if you had any side effects extreme from taking out your ovaries, because I might do that.
I mean, so you're right in terms of there's no, just like pancreatic cancer doesn't have any proper screening, ovarian neither. And never rely on, I think it's the CA-125 test. Yeah. Any of those blood tests, you know, never rely, not even for breast cancer, because mine was perfect. And 2 weeks later, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, you know, and also the same with the CA-120, if it's the CA-125 for ovarian cancer, if it is that's positive, when you already are at an advanced stage of the ovarian cancer. And so the side effects I had, oh my God, well, you know, it put you in immediate menopause, right? So I didn't have the pleasure of having to go through like gradual menopause. So a lot of hot flashes.
Is it like tamoxifen?
The thing is, because I was in surgical menopause, I didn't get tamoxifen. Okay. I got an aromatase inhibitor, which is like the same kind of pill that you use, but for postmenopausal women. So I use something called exemestane. There's also another one that they use called Arimidex, but it's the same thing in terms that it blocks. Basically, when you take off your ovaries, you take off the faucet that is feeding the cancer, that could feed cancer, because if you have hormone receptive cancer.
Yeah, they told me I have to get the needle, a shot, in addition to tamoxifen. Yes. So I'm like, can I just take the ovaries out?
You can if you want, you know, but it has side effects too. And also, when you're in menopause or surgical menopause, there is a risk for your heart to have problems as well. So yeah, and given your history, you know, you should check it out. You know, ask them to weigh the cost and benefits, help you weigh the cost and benefits, given that you can have heart issues as well. But
so the
it's been.
thing I can add to this is the most important thing is what you're eating, right, and exercise, right. And why I say that is because I had 13 lymph nodes taken out one side, right, 13 from my neck to under my arm, and I understand I couldn't even lift my arm like at all. So mentally, the doctors is going to tell you whatever they tell you, but for you, you have to stay mentally strong and know that you're going to overcome it. Because what happens to your mental, once you start thinking, oh shit, I'm about to die, your body is going to be in that mode. And it's nothing you can do to change it. So everybody on this call, you have to speak positive affirmations. Because I do believe whatever you put out there is what you get back. So if you say like I through my whole battle, like my kids came back in 4 days. My whole battle, I was like, look, I'm gonna kill this, it's not gonna kill me. That's number one. I have to survive because I have my whole thing on my back. Number two. And number three, I'm gonna show the world that women are quitters. You have to like every morning look in the mirror and say, like, you're a bomb. I don't care if you don't like your bald head. I don't care if you don't like that your nipple missing. I don't care if you don't like the scars on your body. You look at yourself and you say, I am the bomb. I don't care what nobody says to me. I beat cancer ass, and that's it. If you start saying like, oh man, I suck, look at my body, I hate it, I hate this, your hair comes back. Hair grows back. That's all I can tell you. Hair grows back. If you're living,
and you know what,
have
too,
beat what people have
I must say there's another positive part of it. Not that I wish I had to go through it, but I actually got friends out of this cancer journey. You know, like I have a very good friend of mine from Greece, and she lives in New York, and we just got close in the support groups, and we're actually going on vacation together, like in a couple of weeks, you know, to Arizona. I think we probably made a mistake where we chose because it's a hot spot for COVID, but we kind of have to think that again. But we're going on a trip. The last thing I want to say is that I've actually written a book, a children's book, that is going to hopefully be published by the end of the month, end of next month. And it's because I wanted to see a mom looking like me. My kids, when my kids were small, I wanted to share resources and read a storybook to explain to them. But there wasn't a mom who looked like me. You know, my kids are different. My family looks like a Benetton family. Benetton from the UK. I don't know if you ever see those ads. One of my kids has long, straight blonde hair. The other one has more curly hair, you know, but the mom in the books didn't look like me. So I wrote one, and I will I'll let you know. I'll let you know when it comes out.
Yeah, definitely go post it. If you post it on my page, let's share it. That's definitely
okay.
All right, so we got two more women on here. Let's see who we got on here. I cannot see you. Katia, is that how you say your name?
Yeah, it's Katilia. Hi.
Hi.
Tell us a little about yourself, and thank you for being patient.
No problem. Thank you so much for including me, inviting me for this. I am originally from Brooklyn, New York, but I live in the Washington, D.C. area now. I've been living in this area for about 20 years. I was diagnosed with invasive ductal carcinoma on January 22nd. I didn't have a family history of breast cancer, and it just kind of just like hit me out the blue. I found the lump on January 11th, and I was like, is this what I think it is? Nah, this can't be this. I was trying all sorts of things like hot showers, hot compress, anything, putting it on there, seeing if that was going to make it go away. And I tend to be a person that's like always like worried, right? Which I'm working on. So anyway, I contacted my primary care doctor, and I let her know, what was going on. And she's a young African American woman herself, and she was like, "Okay, coming in, we're gonna do this, this, and this." Anyway, long story short, I get diagnosed. Well, actually, I shouldn't skip over that. Sorry. It was almost missed. There was after I had the mammogram, I had the ultrasound on the mammogram. They were like, "Oh, it's a cyst. It's a complicated cyst." So I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool. Praise God, right? This is great." And later on, I found out on the internet that complicated cysts have a 50% chance of being malignant. Okay, so anyway, after I had the mammogram and the ultrasound, there was a radiologist that read the results, And he told me, a younger white guy, he basically was like, oh, you know, you don't have to worry about it. It's a cyst. Your body will take care of it itself. You could probably, you know, take like a safety pin and burn it and just pop it yourself. And I was like,
What?
oh, okay, that's kind of crazy, but I'm not gonna do that. And so then
Your job?
he said you can you have the option of getting it aspirated or not. It's up to you. And I was like, you know, I'm a big baby. I don't like needles. I don't know how I feel about that. But something told me, no, get this together, boo. Like, put your big girl panties on and let's go. You need to get it aspirated. So anyway, I went and got it. I went to get it aspirated. Um, and I had a female doctor. So I have Kaiser Health Insurance, and so you don't really have like one doctor that sees you through. It's kind of just like, you know, whoever is available, whatever the case may be. I had a very nice woman doctor, and she too was from New York originally, and
I don't hear her.
Muted.
I don't hear her either.
you know, I'm already here. Let's do it. Um, they did it. She did it. And during that time frame, I should say, it also was like maybe 3 or 4 days, right? It was, I got the biopsy on like January 18th. And during that time frame, to me, it felt like it was getting larger. But because they told me it was a cyst and it wasn't really anything I should be worried about, I was like, oh, well, maybe I'm just tripping. Like, you know, I could be imagining things. I wasn't imagining things. Um, 3 days later, on January 22nd, she called me and basically told me, you know, it was invasive ductal carcinoma. Invasive ductal carcinoma. They checked it 3 times, you know, and I was kind of just like, whoa, how could this be? Because the radiologist told me that it was a cyst, like I could just, you know, it'll disappear on its own. So there was a lot of shock in that whole experience. I live in this area pretty much by myself, but without many family members. I have friends, of course. And so yeah, then the ball got rolling from there. Um, it was it was a lot. So I started this page called Breast Cancer Doesn't Have Me, really to try to keep my family informed, right? I called every person in my family. My mother has seven siblings. So I called them and all of their children and kind of just let them know. And I really wanted to not be a burden. I didn't want my mother to have to manage this with all of those people. So I thought this would be a good way to kind of eliminate that. So that's really why I started the page. And then from there, it's just grown into, you know, what it is today. And my hopes and or dreams for it is to eventually have a 501c3, and to be able to help other women, um, hopefully to inspire other women, but mainly just to help. There's so many things um, that we go through on this journey. Um, I've just finished chemo, so I'm sorry, I should have mentioned this. The breast cancer that I have, the invasive ductal carcinoma, is estrogen and progesterone negative. So I am not on tamoxifen. I did chemo for 1 year. So I did chemo from last March into this March. I finished chemotherapy on March 24th of this year. I just did the Herceptin part. So I did 6 rounds of what is it? TCH, Taxotere, Carboplat, and Herceptin. And then after that, I was on the Herceptin for the remainder of the year. So Herceptin doesn't, it's the carboplatin that removes your hair, at least for my cocktail. The carboplatin is what causes you to be bald, which is why I have a little fro now. So yeah, anyway, one thing for me that I didn't account for is the emotional roller coaster that comes with this journey. At least for me, I don't know for everyone else. Just
Oh
the
yeah.
whole- oh, okay, great. Just it just you know, so anyway, as part of my treatment plan, I have a therapist, right? But I had a therapist before. It's the same woman. She's great, love her. Um, and so that was one of the things I talked with her today. That's one of the things that I didn't account for. Like I just did not even think about all of the things. And even now, some days, not all days, some days I'm just like, wow, this shit really happened. Like I really had breast cancer. This is not a fucking joke. And I don't know. And a part of me is like, I guess in regards to the positives, a part of me is like, you know what? Cancer has caused me to see me. For so long, I was like giving other people, helping this. You people could call me the last minute. Hey, could you do this? Could you run over here? Could you take me over here? Could you pick me up in the airport? Could you whatever, whatever? And I, did it. I guess like acts of service, right? Like my love language. No problem. And now I'm like, sorry, I can't see you. I can't do this. I can't do that. I gotta take care of me. Um, which
Yep.
I definitely, did not do before. So I too am working on a book. It's not a children's book, but it's just I I majored in journalism. So I went to Howard. I graduated from Howard. I majored in journalism, and I always wanted to write a book. But then I was like, well, what am I going to write about? Like, I have nothing that I really want to write about, right? Or something that I could write 300 pages about. Yeah, I'm on like page 115. So it's it's just like it just keeps coming out. It keeps coming out, and I keep seeing, there's so many things that all of you ladies talked about that were applicable to me as far as like being on short-term disability, managing appointments yourselves. I mean, it was just a whole hot mess. Like I had for the short-term disability, thank God I was able to get on that. But even in doing that, it was like they expected me to call them after the surgery. Oh, sorry. So I had a lumpectomy. But the lady was like, okay, so after you have the surgery, you need to call us and confirm that you had the surgery. And I was like, hold on, sis. First of all, I'm not going to be calling you after they slice my breast open. I'm sorry. If you have a problem with that, then you can speak to the surgeon or you can speak to my oncologist. But what we're not going to do is have me call you after surgery. And it was just this constant, it was a constant checking up on me to basically confirm that I wasn't making up this story. Like I have nothing else better to do, right? Like really, who wants this? No one in their right mind. They were like, I constantly had to, while being sick, go and try to find a fax machine to fax them documents that confirmed that I had this stuff. It was just this a hot mess. And when I got back to work, I went to HR and gladly let them know all of that too, because I thought that was completely unacceptable. And I think someone else mentioned just some things we shouldn't have to endure in addition to enduring what we're enduring, right? So managing appointments yourself. I don't have a car. That was a whole nother drama, like getting back and forth to appointments. Just as an FYI, if anyone is in that situation, the American Cancer Society will and rides.
Yeah,
Love
I use
that.
that.
Per year too. So if you need them for another year, they will provide you with round trip rides, and they will also, if they can't provide you with a ride, they will try and help you find someone who can give you a ride or something like that. So that was anyway, I don't want to take up all the time, but yeah, I just feel like there's so many things to manage. One person can't do it all. One person can't do it on their own. And to expect the patient to manage all of that, to me was just completely, just foolish. And I I'm still going through it, right? Like I'm combing through the emotions of it now, I guess. But I'm just, I didn't want it to beat me. This is the last thing I'll say. So a lot of people were saying, oh, well, you're so open about your journey and this and this and this. The year before I got diagnosed, my godmother got diagnosed with breast cancer, and she's a survivor. She is doing well now, praise God. Her sister got ovarian cancer the following year, the same year I was diagnosed, which was 2019. She transitioned to heaven earlier this year at the age of 58 years old. Um, I didn't want it to beat me. I felt like it was beating me in the beginning. I was just a hot mess, and I was crying every single morning. My boyfriend and I were crying every morning, like 5 a.m. from 5. I called it crying hours, from like office hours. From 5 a.m. until 8:30 when it's time for me to leave for work, I was crying. Even on the train, I was crying. It didn't matter who saw. It was just a hot mess, and I don't have any children. That was another part of it. My fertility came into question, and I did fertility treatment. It was just all of the things, all of the things. And I just, I thank God that I made it. I don't even know. I know that I know that it wasn't me who got me here, for sure. There were many times when I was ready to throw in the towel. During the chemo, I think it was it might have been the first or second round. I was like, you know what, Lord, we don't have to do this. This is ugly. This is not cute, and this is not easy, and this is hard, and we don't have to do all this. And it's a lot, but I just, I think one of the things that helps is these kind of environments, for sure. This kind of environment, the support group helped me tremendously. I was ready to like kill my boyfriend during this process, like multiple times, like not even like a little slap, like a murder, like, and it's just, nobody but God got us through that. And to be honest, it's still rocky. Let me keep it 100 with you. Like, I moved out. Like, I was just like, I can't, you don't understand. I can't. And I already had this condo anyway, so it wasn't like I had to just go find a new place. But the point is that we could not coexist. And cancer just shines the light, and it's such a heavy weight, emotionally. When you don't already have a good foundation, and then you add cancer on top of it, right? It's just like, boom. So anyway, we're in a much better place now. Praise God for that. But it's just, it was a lot, all of the things. And I would like to be able to be a lighthouse for other women that are going through it, because we all need help.
Oh, she froze.
Uh-oh. So that's it. Sorry. That was long.
One thing I want to say that you were talking about, which I think is very important, is we always talk about relationships on here. So you're not alone. We talked about I talk openly about my boyfriend, and I totally broke up during my my venture with cancer. But I was okay with that, because I felt like I was in a relationship. I needed him to just help me get through it. I didn't care if he cheated, hung out late at night, did whatever. I just needed him for let me get through cancer, right? And he probably needed me because I was sexy or something. I don't know. He was like, she a fighter. I don't know. But it didn't work out, right? And we can sit here all day long and say, man, it's my fault because I got cancer. He's not gonna love my body. Oh my God, he gonna love a lady with 2 titties, 2 nipples, and fine. It ain't meant for you, sisters. Okay, it ain't meant for you. Let his ass go. Right? Like, they're only there for a situation, not a lifetime. And we gotta be okay with that, because sometimes God put people in your life just for that, to get you through. Right? Not to keep you forever. You gotta find your peace. And sometimes your peace is the happiness that you have, not what somebody else has, right? And I think that's important. Sometimes we got to be kinder to us. We done went through, cancer is huge. We went through something that people don't make it through. You got to clap, put your hand on your back, hug yourself, love yourself for a minute, and stop trying to rush through to get over it, right? That's what we try to do. Like, we finished our chemo, we over it. Nah, it's emotional. It's something that we got to tap into to say, yo, we got to heal. And I think that's the point, because then we rush and get into another bad relationship. Then we rush and get into somebody else who will take advantage of us because we trauma victims, right? No, you heal first, and then you start a new chapter in your book. Because trauma is what you just went through, what you're going through now. If you don't let yourself heal, it's going to get worse and worse and worse, and it's going to keep piling on. Like, I call it peeling back the layers. Find out who you are. Find out, yo, I love myself bald. I love myself with no eyebrows, because you know what? I can draw them motherfuckers on. I can put a wig and some weave on. Like, that kind of stuff don't make you. And it doesn't. Like, that stuff doesn't make you. I mean, girls is buying booties out here.
Right.
Like, you can go buy you probably can go buy a man too. Like, so that stuff is not who you are. You have to tap back into this here, right? And I think like this whole conversation is like, yo, you've been through something, sis. Be kind to yourself. Like, you've been through something. Like, embrace it. Be like, yo, look, every hour of the day I cry. I go ahead, I have my pity party. I'm like, girl, you the motherfucking bitch. Okay, you done went through some shit, girl. You got it, girl. I'm gonna rock the 15 pounds, okay? And then you think about like, yo, I'm gonna go conquer the world next, right? I'm gonna show them how I rock this 15 pounds because I know what I already been through. You gotta give yourself like some kudos. This fight is not easy. We make it look easy. And I think that's what we have to start saying, like, yo, I just make it look easy. It ain't. Like, you want to get out your bed, you crying, and people don't see you cry, you in the bathroom, you like when it rain outside because you cry when it rain. Listen. It's stuff people don't talk about. It's like, why are you in the rain? Because you out there crying when it's raining.
Yep.
Look, it's okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
man,
remember,
I'm telling you.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
sorry, I remember
Go ahead.
sitting at McDonald's one day watching people eat burgers. I thought, okay, I think I can, you know, when you get that thought in your head, okay, I think I can eat this. So you drive to the end of the world because you think you can eat it. And I brought my cheeseburger and I couldn't eat it. And I just sat there crying because everybody was eating a cheeseburger and I couldn't eat a cheeseburger. It's just, when I look back now, you think, my goodness, it's little things that at the time are huge things. You know, I have such an appreciation for food now and relationships. For me, I was dating somebody for 9 months when I got diagnosed. I got diagnosed 3 days after my 45th birthday. Him and I had just come back from a lovely weekend away. But during the diagnosis, he was acting as if it was him who had cancer. And okay, so for the first 2 weeks, it was sad. Yes, I've just been told I've got cancer. I don't know what stage I'm at. But now I'm telling you I'm at stage 1. Now I'm telling you it hasn't spread. Now I'm telling you I'm not going to die. I'm laughing. I'm smiling. I'm still going to work. Join me, please. Don't sit there crying. Don't sit there like you're going to die. I appreciate his only experience with cancer was a negative one with his aunt. But I'm telling you, it's a positive outcome. So in the end, I had to walk away because it wasn't doing my mental health any good. And now I look back and I think, do you know what? If he was the right person, I'm not saying everybody should act the same way because we all probably had similar thoughts when we got diagnosed, but we all reacted differently. But I just need to know you've got my back because you never know life is going to throw at you. And I laugh because I say I got one big boob, one little boob. I'm still waiting to have my operation done on my right boob to resize it back. So I call it Droopy Deirdre and Perky Polly. And I look at my body now and I love my body, but I know he wouldn't have been able to cope with one big tit, one little tit, you know? So yeah, God will, like I say, come into our life for a season, and it's the healing process for us now, and it's how we can turn that negative into a positive. And it sounds as if on this platform we're all doing something, and there's room for everybody to do their little bit, even if it's just phoning a girlfriend and just saying, have you had your check done? Have you checked your boobs? You know, so yeah, it's about the healing process, and that's hard
Yeah.
to explain to other people sometimes.
Yeah, or just I just feel sometimes, just like Kutlia said, it's an emotional journey, you know. It's like peaks and troughs always, you know. And I think, you know, mainly for me, like I'm very positive, but certain things bring me down, you know, and I have to dig myself out of that hole. Like when a friend of mine called and said, "Oh, by the way, so and so passed away from breast cancer. I thought you'd like to know." And I wrote back, I texted him, actually, no, because she's an acquaintance and I didn't really have to know. And then when I read in the paper, on the internet the other day about Kelly Preston, you know, I was just like, that made me sad. You know, that made me sad. I mean, here's a lady with millions and millions, and not even she could have been saved, you know. But I have to dig myself out and pull myself up. Like I tell people, having cancer, when you've had cancer, you are a forever patient. Apart from that, you have to keep going to the doctors to get checked, whether it's every 6 months or once a year, or managing the side effects, or managing your emotions, you know, and trying to kind of only surround yourself with like positive people and not the people who are going to bring you down or going to make it harder for you. You know, it's constant. It's just constant, and having to remind yourself about you are the number one person, even in front of your kids, you know, even before your kids, you know, because you can't be like my meditation teacher said, you have to put on your oxygen mask before you help anybody else, you know. So my kids are my priority, my number one. You know, I'm that mother who would fight anybody for them, but at the same time I have to care for myself too. I have to have self-care. So I'm so sorry, Lady Tap. You've been waiting for the longest while. I'm so sorry. I love your name, by the way.
Lady Tap, and then we have a quick game. I promise it's quick. Everybody has cash app.
Yes.
Does everybody have cash app?
If everybody what? Sorry.
Has cash app.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I don't.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
No.
I have Venmo. Venmo.
Okay. Inbox me whatever you have to my inbox. If you got cash app or whatever your thing is. Okay. That's for our game. Trust me. All right. Come on, Lady Tap.
Hello, everybody. My name is actually Tanaya, but I do go by Lady Tap because my husband is a preacher.
Okay.
But yes, my name is Tanaya. I am from California, born and raised. I'm not going anywhere. Sorry, my children are by me. Listening to all of you, I would say I'm a newbie in this because I was just diagnosed in May.
Oh my gosh.
I actually found my lump in April by rolling over on the couch, and all of a sudden my left breast began to hurt really bad.
Oh.
And so I emailed my doctor thinking nothing of it. She saw me, she measured it, and she ordered a mammo and the ultrasound. We did that. And a week from that, I found out all 3 exams that they did came back positive. And so it's been a fast train since. I've already had my port surgery because I have very bad veins. And I think I've had 4 sessions of chemo so far, and I have 10 more to go. And so it's an everyday type of thing. Like a lot of you, mainly all of you have said, days are different. Some days I'm superwoman like I used to be. Other days, leave me alone, let me curl up under my covers. Don't talk to me, don't touch me, just I'm okay, just leave me alone. And so, you know, it's an everyday battle, but through it all, you know, I am very blessed. I have not wanted or needed for anything through this whole time. You know, the COVID hit, I guess, at I don't know if you can call it a decent time, but my husband works for the school district. So my husband is at home. He's been home this whole time. And so, I'm sorry. Excuse me, be quiet. If you're going outside with your dad, go, be quiet. It came at a decent time because my husband is able to be here and take me to all of my appointments. You know, he sees the good, the bad, the ugly. He sees it all, and he takes it with strides. And so I'm appreciative and very blessed and thankful to have him by my side. And just like a lot of you ladies were saying, the meds come with their own side effects. They come with their own life. I was telling my husband the other day, it seems like it's something new every time. I was having heart palpitations. I had to go and do an EKG, and it's just something new all the time. And they don't necessarily prepare you for all of the side effects. They may graze over them and tell you so and so, such and such, but you're never 100% prepared for what's gonna happen. I originally was on Taxotere. Yeah, Taxotere. I have a 4-drug cycle: the Perjeta, the Herceptin, Taxotere, and carboplatin. The Taxotere I was allergic to. The very first, my very first chemo session, it just gave me a really bad headache. But the second chemo session that they gave me, when they gave me the Taxotere, I started having bronchial spasms. I couldn't breathe. I could not catch my breath to save my life. My body began to burn from the inside out. I was at chemo. They were taking my clothes off of me, trying to get me to cool down, because I was literally sweating bullets everywhere. And so we ended up having to change it from the Taxotere to Taxol. And so far I'm doing pretty good on the Taxol. I haven't had many side effects to the Taxol, but the medicine she has me on the first 3 days after chemo kind of has me knocked out anyway. So maybe I'm sleeping through all of my side effects. I don't know. But it's a journey. It's a journey. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Make sure you drink green tea and a lot of water.
Yeah.
I have. Okay, I've definitely been doing the water, not the green tea, but I love green tea, so I'll start doing the green tea. But yes, my husband stays on top of me when it comes to the water. I'm down in 8 to 10 bottles of water a day because of him.
The only thing you said about Taxol, I took Taxol. I had 8 sessions of the Taxol, and I noticed the first sort of 4 to 5 were fine, but then I would say just look out for neuropathy, fingers and toes, because it got to the stage. I don't want to talk negative, but yeah, just look out for the neuropathy and the muscles as well, because that's where it really hits side effects wise. It's patch 22 because I was on EC rather than AC, and then I went on to the Taxol, but side effects for both drugs were very different. But yeah, neuropathy can be a bit of a pain. So
and possibly, I don't know if I was the only one, but I had 12 rounds of Taxol. And I'm still
I did 12 rounds.
And I'm still doing the Herceptin. I'm still on that, but I had diarrhea really bad from Taxol. And when I had Taxol and the Herceptin in the same day, oh Lord, because it was just a combination that ridiculous. So I don't know if you have diarrhea from Taxol, but you could watch out for that too, because I had to get a prescription strength medication, because the regular diarrhea medicine or whatever they sell in the stores, it irritated me more.
My biggest side effect from the Taxol is just the nausea. It got so bad. She's prescribed like I think it's an antipsychotic drug that actually helps with the nausea, because it was bad. Like I couldn't even drink water; it would come back up.
Wow. It's so funny. It's like everybody is different, because for me, Taxol was much better. I almost welcomed Taxol after AC, because I felt it's okay. And on Taxol, and I started seeing my hair growing back too. So it's a little bit, I felt a little bit more positive about Taxol. It was the AC. I felt so ill, and I don't even know. It's not like wanting to throw up. It's just like a sick feeling for 5 days. For 5 days, and like on the 6th day, as like clockwork, it was gone. It was just like all through my body. I don't know how to explain it. It just felt sick, like I was not well, you know? I think the side effects that I have neuropathy, but Natasha, you've got it in your 2 hands. I've got it in 1 hand. I've just got it in 1 hand. The side, they think it's radiation-induced neuritis or something, or they don't think it's chemo just because it didn't affect it. They don't think it's because of the chemo because it didn't affect the both hands. And so I'm on a prescription for it, duloxetine, or you all might know Cymbalta. You might have heard of Cymbalta.
Oh,
for
Cymbalta.
TB. Yeah, so that's what I'm on. So, and it's exacerbated when I do more things. And then I have low white blood cell counts as a result. So, but I'm alive. We're alive. We're here.
Amen.
So,
All right, ladies, look, I'm not cutting y'all live short on here. Y'all can come back any Wednesday. We gotta play our game. You ready? And if we don't,
Let's do it.
it's not a normal game. So I'm just letting you know. First of all, thank you to everybody. Right? Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for being as real as you can be. Just thank you for opening up to a stranger, right? And I just want each and everybody to know, like, you're supported, you're loved. And if you need to call me, I will give you my personal cell phone, and I will tell you every day, bitch, you look good. Okay, if you need that encouragement, you let me know. Okay, I will speak life into your situation, so you're gonna be feeling that way. Now, ready for the game?
okay.
Good.
I don't know if she's gonna let me pick
Hold
the
up.
question.
Whoever answers first and get it gets cash. Okay. Now, listen, I don't know. Get your signal right. Get your phone right. I don't have time to be like, oh, my signal weak. Whoever answers first gets cash. That's it.
Right. You can use Google at your fingertips if you don't know the answer.
That's it.
Okay. Okay. For our first question, a gorilla has how long of an erect organ?
A what?
It's aroused. How long is his tool?
Girl, how we know that?
16
I ain't make no
hours.
gorilla.
3 centimeters.
What's the question? Sorry, what's the question?
3 centimeters of an erect penis.
A gorilla has how long of an erect organ?
Okay, when it's erected, like, boing. Okay, I'm gonna take a drink while y'all figuring this out.
I'm
I'm
gonna say
I'm like, what?
3 centimeters.
a gorilla.
3 centimeters.
I'm gonna say 11 inches.
I don't know. 11 inches.
8.5.
I thought you said how long.
Oh, how long for?
That's
Like
gonna
the
kill
duration?
somebody.
No, how long is it?
Is it 8.5 centimeters?
Okay. Okay, hold on.
13 centimeters. I don't know.
Wow.
11 inches.
1 point.
This is 11 inches.
Well, I mean,
Gross.
No, I'm going with my 3 centimeters, man. That's what Google said.
I know. So I'm gonna give you a hint of inches. But it's not 11, Kelsey. It's not 11.
Sorry.
6. 6. 5.
Okay, let's try this question. Wait, let me give you the answer to this, and then we go into an easy one. What's the answer?
2 inches.
2 inches. He ain't
that's it?
That's all. A gorilla. A gorilla? 2 inches? Really?
I knew it couldn't be that big.
Okay, let's do this one. Listen, that's why he gotta be so hard. Like, all right, this is easy. I'll give you an easy one. Who can name where everybody's from on the call?
I can. Oh no.
Oh my God.
I could mostly. Oh
We got
no.
you.
How about 3 people?
New
I
York,
don't know.
California, Texas, Trinidad and
London.
Tobago,
Oh yeah, Kelsey.
2 UKs.
You get $100. Send me your cash app.
This is from New York. Natasha Sutton.
All right, next question.
Next question. Y'all ain't gonna get no money. What is the name for a special vibrator worn by women with straps?
Strap
You
on?
know what?
What is it?
The name.
It's not called a strap on?
Is it strap on?
Jackrabbit?
The bunny rabbit?
What?
Bunny rabbit?
I said a jackrabbit, but I could be wrong.
It has wings, though. It has wings.
Oh, y'all ain't gonna get this.
Butterfly.
Y'all nine are nasty. Y'all nine are
Is it butterfly? Huh?
Who's that butterfly?
Lady
Me?
Cat.
Tanaya?
Okay, you get $100. Yeah,
Hey.
$100 left.
Yes.
$100 left is over here.
You want a question?
All right, let me give y'all an easy one. Mine is easy. Hers is like bananas. Hers is like Gorilla Glue. Let me see. Who can name what is a natural herb that helps with nausea, inflammation?
Green tea, ginger. Green tea and ginger.
That's all I got. But guess what? When you play with I Rock My Stars, everybody wins $100. So send me your cash app. Send me your
Yay.
Venmo, whatever you got.
Thank you. Oh, that's so cool. Thank you.
Thank you guys for joining. We love you. Know that you're not by yourself. Share the podcast, the show, because I do believe it's going to help other women. And we need to build, right? Your businesses, each other. That's what I'm here for. I don't care about nothing else in the world. Like I do good with making money, but I know what it is to go through something and not have nothing, like bad credit. You say fuck it, right? You lose your friends, you say fuck it, right? You lose your man, you say fuck it. And fuck it. I want you to know that you're supported. You're supported and you're loved, right? And then body image is just that. It's nothing, right? You can replace everything you got, but you're living. And then spiritually, you just know that God is always first. We got each other. Sometimes you need to have friends anyway in your family.
Yeah.
So listen, I love you, ladies. I'll see y'all. Look, if you want to come next Wednesday, make sure you share so other women can come and so support it. I love each and every one of y'all. Thank you for joining.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Love y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.